You are Locked On Ole Miss, your daily podcast on the Ole Miss Rebels. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thanks again for making the Locked On Ole Miss podcast your first listen every day. We're free and available wherever you get your podcast, including YouTube. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Hello, I'm Stephen Willis from the Locked On Ole Miss podcast. I'm joined by Josh Guest. Yes, this is Thursday night. Normally he does Saturday night. But with me having to go to Mississippi next week, everything's going to look a little bit different from now and through next week. And then whenever we get back, it'll be full go. But as it sits right now, Josh, you get Thursday night.
Nice.
Must-see TV, maybe? I don't know.
That's right. Prime time on Thursday. Who knows?
Yeah, and it's June. We're having a good time. We're relaxing. That's one of the fun things that I like about my channel. In specifics is we just have fun. We have a good time. We like talking about Ole Miss. We like talking about Ole Miss every single day, but we're going to have fun doing it.
That's right. I mean, if you can't have fun, you might as well not do it.
Yes. And by the way, EA is like doing their pre-game ranking releases and all that. They ranked Penn State ahead of Ole Miss as the offenses in the game. Seriously.
Wow.
If only there was a game that we could recently go back to see how untrue that is.
That's right.
Yeah. So let's go to what just happened. And the big story on most of the videos that are going to come up this weekend is going to be the uniform release. That was the big story of the week. We're going to talk about that. And it's a completely fire uniform. Unbelievable. The powder blue numbers and stripes. It just looks really good whenever you see it. Trey Harris, he like modeled it all for and everything for everybody. And it just looked like a top quality uniform. And honestly, Lane Kiffin has outdone himself on this one.
Steve and I agree. And for people who know me, they'll know that I'm not a white uniform fan. I am not. But holy cow, these look good. The little red pop of Ole Miss, and then like when he's wearing the white helmet, it's got the red right there, with the stripes, and holy cow. And of course, I'm a powder blue fan anyway. I was, been wearing them ever since they started selling the collared shirts at Rebel Rags and University Sporting Goods in town. And now you can get them at College Corner too. And so I will always have powder blue shirts. I have always had them ever since they were available. And it's my color. And man, those uniforms look so good. Whether he's in the powder blue helmet or the white helmet, with that it just looks so stinking good. And so I think you're on point with calling it fire and saying it's a top 5 uniform. And if you had told me without showing me that a white uniform was going to come out that I would think that about, I would say no, because I like color too much.
Well, it's pretty interesting. I did a short earlier in the week calling the navy blue uniform kind of the middle child of the Ole Miss color scheme, because the oldest child are the red jerseys. Everybody loves the red. No, nobody puts them down. And right now, everybody is looking at the young kid on the block with the powder blue stuff. Do you think the Navy is going to come back? Are we going to see a situation to where we go all blue? I like the all blue uniform, or do the powder blue version with the navy blue things, the Jeff Scotts. Is that possibly going to come back?
You would think it would. And Stephen, I do work at a place that has the similar color scheme as Ole Miss. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned the powder and the navy together. And I have some Northwest shirts that have that color scheme with navy on the powder. And, I think there's a lot of potential there, because those blues go well together. So some sort of stripe, some sort of piping, some sort of something. Now I'm a little off the wall. I like wide stripes. Sometimes like something that goes full body down the side. That's a wide stripe of a different color. Maybe a powder uniform with a navy stripe or navy with a powder. I don't know. I'm just saying something like that. I'm not opposed. I think you've mentioned maybe all navy. Are you talking about navy pants too, by the way?
Yes, I am.
I think that has a great look. If you went navy helmet, navy jersey, navy pants, I mean, that look, and it still adds to that flair that some of those teams, like you said, some like Florida's cheating with the black jerseys or whatnot. I did hear Dalen mention a red helmet. I have wanted a red helmet since I have been a football fan of any type of Ole Miss. Give me a red helmet. So I don't know if we'll ever get it, but boy, I would love a red helmet. So, and I think maybe a powder jersey with a red helmet would look pretty good, or navy with red. I mean, it just works, but maybe it won't happen. And I think you said the red would look too much if it was all red. I think I could live
like
with
strawberry.
Yeah, I'm the guy that drives a red truck, so I probably could live with it.
I drive a red truck too. Anyway, thanks for making the Locked On Ole Miss podcast your first listen every day. When we come back, we are going to find out what Josh would do with the uniforms, what he would add to them, which may be a red helmet. He just mentioned that as well, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about SEC Media Days as well. But right now, with last-minute deals and all-in prices, Gametime is the place to get your Major League Baseball tickets. They have views from your seats. They have the lowest price guarantee. They take the guesswork out of getting those tickets. Their customer service suite with the lowest price tickets, cancellation protection, job loss protection is kind of top-notch. So you might want to give that a look as well. They take the guesswork, like I said, out of buying MLB tickets. Download Gametime today. Create an account and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account. Redeem code LOCKEDONCOLLEGE for $20 off. Download Gametime today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Are you watching Fox Sports or ESPN on your computer all day and you have to turn down the volume? With all of that screaming and shouting, make the switch to Locked On Sports today. It's a free 24/7 sports streaming channel programmed for you each and every single day to bring you the biggest stories without all of that screaming. Locked On Sports Today brings you can't miss analysis, opinions, and news, streaming 24/7 on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire TV channels app, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Okay, Josh, let's not necessarily change gears, but let's move this down the road a little bit. One thing that I want to see if they could be added to uniforms is colored pants. The navy blue pants, the powder blue pants. I think that I am not a fan of monochromatic uniforms as a whole. I do like the all navies, but that's kind of where it stands. There's this weird tick that's in society right now of monochromatic uniforms, and every time you see a picture, it's of that. But I think the beauty of college football comes whenever it's kind of put together, like the navy helmet, the red jerseys, and the gray pants. I don't know if anybody will ever be able to top that. But in today's world, it's like, okay, navy jersey, navy pants, navy helmet, powder, and that's the way they would present the uniforms.
Yeah, Stephen, I'd like powder blue so much I could take powder blue head to toe. But I do like it with the red cap on baseball or the red cleats with the powder. Something like the baseball jersey that has the red on the navy, possibly. But I like the different colors as well, where you could do something with a different color helmet than the jersey. But again, I mentioned the wide stripes. I like that down the side. I don't mean the shoulder stripes that's classic with Ole Miss. I don't mean changing that. I just mean like something down the side that's a different color, something a little off the norm. And I'm all about the colored pants. Oh my gosh, let's get something other than white or gray pants. And I think I even heard you mention the word Rebels down the side or the leg or something. I mean, that could be in the stripe, or that could just be in a color, like if it was a navy pant.
I want those to be taken off. If you would have taken those all navy uniforms that Hugh Freeze had and just put two white stripes down the side.
Yes. So you want Rebels off the – okay, good. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, and look, I too also am a big fan of the UM logo, like on the baseball hats or whatever. I don't know if it would fit as much with football or whatnot, but and I mean like on the jersey, maybe on the side or a small place, not a big one. But I just kind of like that. Of course, obviously Rebels are Ole Miss across the jersey. But I think I just think you could incorporate some red piped in something or outlined in something on a navy. So, and look, that has navy off of the powder, right? With the outline of the letter. So, I mean, again, I think you could do something with the navy and powder together that would really, really, really pop and look really good, but could also be classy. It would have both effects going on. So I just, I'm a fan of same thing. We talked about the baseball uniforms when the cream came out. I wouldn't have told you I was a cream colored uniform fan, but they look so stinking good. And the same thing with, Trey Harris modeling this, white with the powder. It's just ridiculous effort by Ole Miss there. Whomever put it together, whether it was Kiffin, the athletic department, all together, the graphic designers, whomever it was, boy, they did a knockout job.
One thing that would be interesting to me, just an idea that I have, and I saw a picture, I think on a Kylan Deer's commitment picture, he did this combination. Navy helmet, powder jersey, white pants.
Oh, and look, there it is, mixing that navy and the powder up. So I just think it could work, and I think it's and I do think, Stephen, we have a chance to see some of these things, and even things that we can't think of, because of the way we do the uniforms. We might wear the same jersey twice, but we don't wear the same combination twice during the season. And I think that speaks to the younger generation of players, but I also think that speaks to the fans. Like, I enjoy it. What's going to be next? The one thing I don't like is when I go, man, I love that combination. I wish I could see it 3 more times this year. And I know I'm not going to, but I still like the fact that it's different each time. And I've already told you, I'm already color centric. I love the various colors. I love Ole Miss colors, especially. I think we got the best color scheme out there. And so I think it's easy for us to have good looking uniforms for that reason.
Yeah. And this being, as the Ole Miss fans joke, uniform month, June is pretty traditionally uniforms. We talk about that. But the way this goes, whenever a new uniform comes out, right? And everybody gets excited about the uniform because it's fun. It's one of those things that people enjoy seeing and have some fun doing it. But there's always a handful of fans that out there is like, I don't care what they wear except they win. This is the dumbest thing ever. I don't care. But no, well, then don't participate. It's your choice to come in and be a freaking Grinch. This is what you're choosing. Let the people that have fun with uniforms and shut the hell up.
Look, agreed. I mean, just again, if you can't have fun, don't do it. So if you're not having fun, don't keep your comments to yourself.
Yeah. Nobody cares.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy the uniform releases. I enjoy thinking about it or seeing things or whatever. And again, the people that do this obviously are really good at it because of what just came out. And as I said before, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it to anybody else that asks me or talk about it. If somebody had told me, 2 weeks ago, hey, Ole Miss is going to come out with a new uniform, it's going to be pretty much all white. I'd be like, no, yes. Like I started, yes. So
like a Marshall Henderson 3. No. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, from half court, Oh, that's so true. So true. So true.
So before we get out of here, SEC Media Day is going to be in Dallas, Texas. In about 2 weeks. It's about 2 weeks away until Lane Kiffin's on the stage.
With a cowboy hat on.
Yeah. Likely with the cowboy hat. How many cowboy hats are we going to be seeing in SEC Media Day?
I knew you were asking these questions to people, and I want to jokingly say 1,000, but I don't know if that could be that far off with all the people that are there. So I just randomly picked a number. I'm going to say 238.
Nice.
So, I mean, am I going to sit and count? Probably not. But I think there'll be a lot, or I hope there are a lot. I think it will be entertaining if the coaches wear them or have to wear them or whatever. I think that'll be fun, or even the players that go. That will be even more fun.
Yeah, because they're going to do that. And there's a picture. Anybody that's watching this, there's a picture on the internet. Just type in Lane Kiffin sombrero. And you can see Lane Kiffin wearing a sombrero on there. And rumor is next year, like this hasn't been confirmed or anything like that, but the rumor is SEC Media Days is going to be in Orlando next season, which is awesome for me. That's an hour down the road.
That's an hour down the road. And if my family finds out, we'll end up at Disney.
Right. And we talked about this earlier. Next year is an excellent year for anybody planning a trip to go to Disney because Universal is opening up a new park, which means that place is going to be jam-packed, which means Disney's traffic is going to be down a little bit.
Yep. Good insider tip there, Stephen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, annual pass love. Disney, take care of me, bud. Anyway, Thanks again for making the Locked On Ole Miss podcast your first listen every day. We're free and available wherever you get your podcast, including YouTube. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team, every single day. Josh Guest joins the show this week like he always does. Josh, what's your plans for this weekend, bud?
Man, just going to got a little baseball tonight as long as the field's not too wet. And then, honestly, there's probably some grass cutting in the future for the weekend. Never a good thing.
But does that mean it's going to rain?
Yeah, well, it just got through raining, so got the Jeep in the garage. I've confiscated my daughter's car, who's at camp, because of the rain. But it's been hot as bejesus here in Mississippi. I was 101 the other night when we were playing baseball on Tuesday night. Had a doubleheader, and so you just went outside and you just sweat.
I'm coming up there from Florida, and I'm actually worried about going into the heat.
Yeah, the humidity though. I mean, it's almost. The last couple of days before the rain came yesterday was suffocating. It was just so stinking hot. You just couldn't get comfortable. So
yeah, should be nice. Are you planning on heading down to the meet and greet?
That is the plan. That is the plan. So I do plan to attempt to be there on July the 2nd at Walk-Ons in Ridgeland.
Mm-hmm. They have excellent red beans and rice. Remember, they do not advertise on the show, but I love Walk-Ons. As far as the fast casual restaurant, that is potentially my favorite out there.
Yeah, they have some good stuff. I probably won't go with that, but there'll be something I go with that is good for sure.
Yeah. Now, I like it when people go in there and they see the appetizers, like, ooh, we can get gators. Like, that tastes just like chicken, and you're paying a ton for it.
That's right.
Yeah. Anyway, Josh, take care, buddy, and I'll see you Tuesday.
All right, hotty toddy.
Hotty toddy.